Can't Afford Hyenas is the 14th episode of the first season of Two and a Half Men. This is directed by Schiller, and it's a really entertaining episode, and I think one that can make us all think about our own spending habits. There will be spoilers from this point on as I discuss various points of the narrative. It's a pretty straightforward episode, there's not too much going on. We only have one main narrative, and that's the fact that Charlie has run out of money. Berta comes back from doing the grocery shopping and his credit card has been destroyed. We learn quite quickly, as well, we kind of already knew this, but it's established quite quickly that he's pretty frivolous with money. He tips the pizza guy like a 300% tip, and we know he has a lot of expensive gadgets. Berta manages to make her own wages by just taking his espresso machine. And my only wish for this episode is that Berta was in it more, because I think she would have had a lot of fun with Charlie's financial situation, and I think she could have brought a little bit more comedy to it. But what we got was still pretty good. Charlie then visits his guy, which is Stan. Stan is played by Richard Lewis, and he does this brilliant paper cup analogy to highlight to Charlie the fact that he is hemorrhaging money. It was nice to have a different location with Stan's office. We also have a brief stop at a grocery store and a lot of very generic products that cost not a lot of money, and Alan was having a lot of fun with it. And I think there is something great to be said about buying bulk products for not a lot of money. Of course, sometimes quality is not the best, but I really appreciated Alan's enthusiasm. It helped to show that you don't need to look down on somebody who's buying generic cheese and vodka, that actually it's not necessarily a bad thing if you're, spending frugally. That being said, Charlie isn't buying it. He just cannot give up his lavish lifestyle, so Alan suggests they go to Evelyn for a loan, a short term loan, and Charlie goes back and forth on whether or not he's going to do this. And I think the way Evelyn handled the situation was pretty great, and I really enjoyed it. And I wasn't sure exactly what would happen with that. And just when you think it's going in one direction, it goes in another. And then what we get with Rose, I thought was pretty sweet as well. And it's a really good episode. And as I said, it could make us think about our own spending and if we are on top of our finances, and even if we are there corners that we can cut? Doesn't necessarily mean we need to buy one ply toilet paper, as Alan suggested, but at the same time, sometimes we don't always need our expenses to be quite as high as they are. And I think the episode did a really great job of highlighting the fact that if you do need to cut corners, if you do need to reduce spending, that's okay. And Alan particularly got quite excited about the bargains he was finding. So there's something to be said about the balance in this episode that I rather enjoyed. It's a good episode. It's a funny episode. I do wish Berta had been in it a little bit more, because I think she would have brought a lot of humour to it. But it was still funny. I still liked it. A very thought-provoking episode as well, and one that I really enjoyed.